Encrypted chats revealed a plot nobody saw coming, and the police missed it. On a quiet Thursday morning in Haytor, the discovery of former politician Ann Widdecombe's body sent immediate shockwaves across the United Kingdom. She was found with serious injuries, a brutal end to a life defined by fierce political debate. But the initial police response, swift and seemingly decisive, quickly dissolved into a perplexing mystery. A suspect was arrested, then released, leaving a vacuum of answers that fueled public outrage and speculation. What truly happened in that secluded home? And why did the investigation take such an unexpected, contradictory turn? On July 8, 2026, at 11:40 British Summer Time, someone called emergency services. They went to a home in Haytor Vale, Dartmoor. Inside, they found Ann Widdecombe, the 78-year-old former Brexit Party figure. She suffered severe injuries, and she died. The news stunned the nation. It ignited a firestorm of speculation about her prominent, often controversial profile. Devon and Cornwall Police immediately launched a murder investigation. They sealed off the rural property as forensic teams began their grim work. Initial details stayed sparse, designed to prevent panic. Yet no one could deny the gravity of the situation. Someone had brutally murdered a beloved, if polarizing, figure in her own home. This raised urgent questions about security and motive in a politically charged landscape. But the first official statements only deepened the mystery. Within 24 hours of the discovery, police announced a significant breakthrough. They arrested a 26-year-old man on suspicion of murder near Newton Abbot. The public breathed a collective sigh of relief, believing justice was swift. Yet, just 48 hours later, Devon and Cornwall Police issued a stunning update. They released the suspect, a white British national, without charge. They no longer considered him part of the investigation. Assistant Chief Constable Matt Longman said insufficient evidence existed to proceed. This unexpected turn sparked immediate confusion and outrage. How could they let a prime suspect go so abruptly? They had arrested him so quickly. The official explanation left more questions than answers. It especially confused those who had followed Widdecombe's career. However, the numbers tell another story. The suspect's release triggered a furious backlash from the public and political figures alike. Nigel Farage, leader of the Brexit Party, openly questioned the police's competence. He implied a cover-up or gross negligence. Online forums exploded with conspiracy theories. Many linked the killing to Widdecombe's unwavering stance on Brexit. They also linked it to her vocal criticism of globalist agendas. The Home Office remained tight-lipped, emphasizing the ongoing nature of the investigation. But they had done the damage. Trust in the justice system began to erode. The lack of a clear suspect fueled a narrative of systemic failure. Many thought it unfathomable that a prominent figure could be murdered. They also thought it unfathomable that her alleged killer would walk free. What happened next shocked even the insiders. Devon and Cornwall Police's initial investigation quickly stalled in a legal quagmire. Prosecutors struggled to build a case against the released suspect. This highlighted the immense pressure on evidence collection and forensic analyses. It also highlighted pressure in high-profile murder inquiries. No eyewitnesses existed, and no definitive physical evidence linked the suspect to the scene. This created an insurmountable hurdle. This legal challenge underscored a critical vulnerability in the system. Securing an arrest is one thing. Achieving a conviction demands an ironclad chain of evidence. The case threatened to become a cold file. It served as a stark reminder of how complex justice can be. This remained true even with significant public and political will. But that's not the real reason. The Metropolitan Police recognized the national implications and growing public distrust. They took over the lead in the investigation. This move signaled a significant escalation. It brought national resources and expertise to bear on a case of national importance. They redeployed forensic teams to Widdecombe's Haytor home. The teams conducted a more extensive and technologically advanced sweep for overlooked clues. The Met's involvement admitted that the initial local inquiry had fallen short. It also admitted the inquiry could not navigate the complexities. These complexities were of a politically charged murder. They had a clear mandate. Their mandate included finding the killer, restoring public confidence, and uncovering hidden motives. Then investigators found something nobody expected. The Met Police's Forensic Digital Unit began sifting through Ann Widdecombe's personal devices. It also sifted through publicly available digital footprints surrounding the case. This included social media posts, dark web chatter, and encrypted messaging platforms. They uncovered a meticulously planned operation, not a random act of violence. Investigators found chilling discussions deep within a highly encrypted chat log. That chat log was tied to a lesser-known far-right extremist forum. They were not just hateful rants. They were detailed blueprints for political action targeting specific public figures. The sheer volume and specificity of the digital breadcrumbs were notable. They began to paint a terrifying picture. This shifted the entire paradigm of the investigation. However, the numbers tell another story. Encrypted chats led directly to a previously undetected far-right extremist cell. That cell operated under the radar. This group was radicalized by anti-establishment rhetoric and nationalist ideology. It viewed Ann Widdecombe as both a symbol and a traitor. She was a Brexit advocate. Her public persona at times diverged from the cell's interpretation. That interpretation was rigid, violent, and of national purity. Their ideology painted her as an insider who hadn't gone far enough. It also said she was worse or compromised. Logs revealed perverse justification for her assassination. It said justification was to ignite wider civil unrest. It also described a day of reckoning. That day would force radical shift in British politics. It was not a lone wolf, it was a coordinated network, and that decision would prove far more dangerous than anyone realized. The chat logs detailed the cell's plan to assassinate Ann Widdecombe. It was not about theft or personal vendetta. It was a calculated political statement designed to maximize shock and destabilization. They had meticulously tracked her movements. They identified vulnerabilities in her security. They discussed potential alibis and escape routes. Devon and Cornwall Police initially arrested the 26-year-old man. He was a peripheral member tasked with surveillance, not the direct perpetrator. His release was legally sound based on the evidence available at the time. It testified to the cell's sophisticated compartmentalization. The true killer, a more deeply entrenched operative, had vanished. He left behind a trail of digital breadcrumbs. Only advanced forensic tools could uncover those breadcrumbs. What happened next shocked even the insiders. The Metropolitan Police used advanced digital forensics. They linked specific IP addresses and digital aliases in the extremist chat logs. Those links pointed to a known individual. This individual was a 34-year-old former military operative with a history of radicalization. He became the prime suspect. Unlike the previously arrested man, this suspect had a clear digital footprint. That footprint was within the assassination plot discussions. He also had unique forensic markers found at the crime scene. They painstakingly gathered the evidence from encrypted servers and cross-referenced it with physical evidence. This evidence painted an irrefutable picture. This was the breakthrough the public demanded. It came with a chilling realization about the evolving nature of domestic threats. But that's not the real reason. Unmasking of extremist cell and true killer of Ann Widdecombe sent ripples. The ripples went far beyond the immediate legal outcome. It exposed a dangerous new frontier in domestic terrorism. Radicalization thrives in encrypted digital spaces, culminating in real-world violence. The Home Office initiated an urgent review of counter-extremism strategies. It particularly focused on digital surveillance and intelligence sharing. This sharing occurred between local and national police forces. The case highlighted critical need for law enforcement to adapt to increasingly sophisticated threats. It also involved moving beyond traditional investigative methods. It also reignited debates about free speech versus incitement. It also highlighted online platforms' responsibility in curbing radical content. They forced the UK to confront a stark truth. That truth, the enemy was not always visible. However, the numbers tell another story. The Ann Widdecombe murder case was initially shrouded in mystery and misdirection. Ultimately, it became a stark lesson in modern security challenges. It revealed how a seemingly straightforward criminal investigation could unravel into a complex web. This web included digital extremism and political ideology. It also required the painstaking work to unearth hidden truths. The initial missteps by local police underscored the need for enhanced training and resources. This need was to combat sophisticated, digitally native plots. The nation was still reeling from the loss of a distinctive political voice. It had to reckon with the uncomfortable reality. Democratic threats now lurked not just in plain sight. They also lurked in the deepest corners of the internet, waiting to strike. And this changes everything. Remember what we said at the start about the encrypted chats and the plot nobody saw coming? Now you know exactly why the police missed it, and how it truly changed everything. The story of Ann Widdecombe's murder is a chilling testament to the unseen forces shaping our world. If you found this deep dive into the hidden truths compelling, hit that subscribe button right now. We bring you premium analysis on the stories that truly matter, cutting through the noise to deliver unparalleled insight. Don't forget to like this video, and tell us in the comments, what do you think are the biggest threats facing modern democracies today? Your thoughts fuel our next investigation.